Thank you, and good morning, social media friends. We want to say once again, I'm Ernest Franklin, minister of the North Point Dixie Church of Christ, 916 North 8th Street, North Little Rock, Arkansas. We want to come to you as we have always came, to allow you to understand the things that's going on in the world and the things that we need to do for the man that created the world. And I think there's some misconceptions about those of us who God gave life. God gave life and a spirit to each and every one of us. And one day we're going to have to give that spirit back to God, because God sent us to this world that we might be his helpers to create and to take care of things. But here lately, especially from 2019 to now, we have done a critical thing to God. God so loved the world, he sent his son. A lot of us don't believe that he have a son. Most preachers preach that Jesus is God, and Jesus don't have no children that I know of. But God has the world because he created all of us. Jesus says, in my Father's house. He didn't say, in my house. In my house. My house would have had my children in my house. But a lot of false preachers is going out into the world, and they are deceiving people about who is the real Christ. You know, Jesus talks about the Antichrist, other Christs, but Jesus says, I am the Son of God. The Son of God came to this world and he died. Romans 5 and verse 8 for us. How do we respect the Son of God? Let me throw in some things because of the insurrection, many other feelings toward Matthew chapter 23. Let me put it in this perspective so we don't get out of kilter, out of focus, not understanding where the world stands today. See, in Matthew chapter 23, Jesus said, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, and etc., etc., you can read it. Woe unto the white, the black, the Jews, the Muslims, and all of the races that do not stand and believe that Jesus is the Son of God. Or just do not believe that there's a God beyond the skies. That God in Genesis created you, me, and everybody before we were thought of. But one day, he says, I'm going to end it. I'm going to kill all of you. Some of you, I'm going to let you come up here with me, and a few of you, let me put it like that. A few of us are going to come up here with me. But I'm going to send many of y'all down there in the flaming fire. Matthew 25:45. You know, people don't like me to say hell because they say I said so derogatory. But it is a place that calls for torment, burning, eternal pain, agony. We think prison, or the way they treating people over Russia is treating the war people over there today. It's worse. You think when you go to the pen and they treat you the way, it's worse. Torture is worse in hell. But now, allow me to come back to say, Jesus existed in this world 33 years. And in those 33 years, he accomplished more than any man that God ever made. David and Solomon might have been like many of you, had great exegesis, fine education, could read and write and recite poems like nothing nobody ever thought of. But Jesus says in Matthew 15 and verse 9, why do we transgress the commandments by our tradition? Books, billions, trillions of dollars of books is being published every day. But the Bible is still sitting there saying, thou fool, the more you write and the more you add to my word, try to make my book a lie. God said, I don't like that. Because, see, first of all, we got to find out that what Deuteronomy 10 and 4, God wrote that book. He wrote them commandments. He gave them to us. Send them down through the prophets. And now we're trying to make a prophet. Why are we trying to sell something that belongs to God? Because the Bible tells me, 1 Corinthians 15:50, flesh and blood, materialistic, flesh and blood is not going to enter into the kingdom of heaven. I'm trying to be very wise with this because, you see, since 2019, the devil played a game with the Son of God. You remember in Matthew chapter 4 and verse number 8, the devil brings Jesus to this high mountain and says, if you bow down to me, I give you all of these kingdoms of the world. So these kingdoms that the devil offered Jesus, he bought them back. You remember in Acts chapter 1, when Jesus rose, they said, when will the kingdom show us this sign? And Jesus said, only God can give you that sign. If Jesus was God, why didn't he tell them right then? But the kingdom of God was turned over to his son, like many of you. You remember Barack Obama, he's the first black man. I know many folk don't like to hear that, but it's just true. Jesus was the first man to live 33 years and be young and had the comprehensive and the wisdom and the exegesis and the greatest theologians that could have ever wrote. Went down and done what? God wrote the book, gave it to his son. Bible said when the last of the sin, Jesus stooped down on the ground and wrote and said, he that said that he have none, cast the first stone. So what are you saying, Brother Franklin? Jesus in return told his brother John, said, now, all of them is sin. And if they do not come into my church, my Father will not accept them. Because my kingdom that I'm going to 1 Corinthians 15:24, deliver up to my Father. If you don't get in it, you had to be in one of them that Satan just tried to tempt me to get in. And I'm sure he has tempted you. Because there's only one church in the book. That's why men don't like the book today. Because God made his choice. That's what he said in Acts chapter 1, verses 1 through 6. God made his choice of what kingdom he's coming back after. But my biggest problem is, will you be in it? See, we run around here, church to church. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when we take the Lord's Supper. It doesn't matter. We can take it once a month. We can take it as often as we want to, when we want to. Slow down. Listen to God. My son died. His blood was shed on the cross for you. Because as far as I'm concerned, Isaiah 64:6, you were nothing but a filthy rag. I was ready to destroy you. But the 53rd chapter of the book of Isaiah, Jesus says in the Trinity that I will go and I'll redeem. He came and he gave us his redemption. But do we appreciate it? No. Satan comes back in 2019. Oh, the church is growing. Everybody trying to get to God. I'm going to shut this world down. He did that. And you followed him. He said, if I shut down all of my churches, Jesus, I bet you they'll shut you on down. But we're supposed to have faith. Trust God. All of the healing and the praying is supposed to be in the house of God. Did Jesus tell that lie about my house is the house of prayer? I don't have to go to no church and pray. I can pray out here. I can pray anywhere. Well, keep praying out there. Keep praying. Because you're not praying to my God. Not the God that wrote the book. Not the God that come into my house. Not the God that said healing is in my house. Healing is in my son's house. Healing is where you come to worship. You can't worship outside of my son's house. Oh, yes, I can. Go back in the Bible. Noah built an ark. I'm not getting in that boat with them stinking animals and that drunk and all of that stuff and whatever that is. God says, in that place, in that boat. You want to be saved from the flood. You got to get in that boat. I don't want to get in that boat. They died in their sins. Jesus says, y'all get my church back. Get in it. Get ready. Because I'm coming. Well, I'm in John the Baptist church. I'm in Elijah's church. I'm in Moses' church. They won't go to heaven. God did not authorize them to build no church for him. He only authorized his son. But if you don't want to respect his son, die in your sins. John 8:24. Where I am, you can't come. Because I am the way. And when you hear me, you believe me. If you repent and confess, believe that I am the one that God says build my kingdom. Save the world. But if you don't believe that he's going to save the world through his church that he purchased with his own blood, Acts 20, verse 28, you're going to be lost. I hope I was very simple today to tell you that your belief is not going to get you into heaven. God said, you're a filthy rag. Jesus says to Nicodemus, except you're born water and spirit. Water and spirit. Acts 22:16. Why are you tearing, waiting around when God told you to go get in the water? Wash away your sin. Calling on the name of the Lord. Peter says, baptism, 1 Peter 3:21, doeth also now, but saves us. Are you afraid of water? But you love fire? You rather burn than to be washed in water by the word of the Lord? Why can't you be like Mark 16:60? He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. Well, believe you got to be baptized. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have nothing to do with it. That's between you and God. You believe what you want. But today, Bible's you. Acts 20:7. Upon the first day of the week, the insurrection has came, the pandemic has come, and you are still out there lost. Get in the church. Come get your medicine on the first day of the week. This is Jesus. The communion is about Jesus. The money you take up is about man. Man ain't gonna tell you don't take no money. But you can take the Lord's Supper, it doesn't matter. You don't have it, you're still gonna be. If you take it as often as you want to, once a month, twice a year. Look at last week, all the people lied, took a damnation to their soul. That's not what the Bible said, not even in their book. If the doctor tells you to come every week, take a shot in order for you to live. Because when they get through diagnosing all of those imperatives, cancer, breast cancer, throat cancer, foot cancer, all the body cancer, you got to take this, that, they dope you up with all of that. Jesus said, one day, come to my house, let me hear you. Let my preachers do it. Honest preachers can do that. But 8th chapter of the book of Acts, them sign sorcerers, them liars. Romans 16:17. Good words better. Them deception. Deceiving people. Lying. Know they're lying. But Jesus said, this is my blood in my body. If you take it, I will heal you until my Father comes to get you. Will you be ready when that time comes? Jesus said, I will come as a thief in the night. And if you're with me today, get somewhere. Call me or call somebody with the church in the Bible and get right with God. I want to say once again, thank you for listening and good day.